Hey, ladies, I hope you are having a wonderful day and that your weekend was good. Mine was kind of crazy, but we are going with it. So, this week, I wanted to do a short episode. I know the holidays are coming up, and the question this week is, have you planned for the holidays? And I'm not talking about what are you cooking and what is, who's coming over and who's doing this and who's doing that, and have you got all the presents and the Christmas lights up, and what are we doing for Thanksgiving? What are we doing for Christmas? I'm not talking about all those stressful things. I'm talking about, have you planned for the holidays? Have you planned mentally for the holidays? And this goes out especially to my moms out there who have lost children. Because what I've found is that we kind of have to prepare. We kind of have to prepare ourselves for the holiday season. Because not only do we have to deal with the money aspect and all, going to this person's house and not stressing out, and you're doing this over here, and this person's mad and this person's mad. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about planning your grief, planning what is going to be your mindset during this time of the holidays, because like a lot of times, like, we have to prepare. And I guess this kind of goes for anybody that has lost a loved one, and this holiday season you're missing them and you're wishing that they were by your side and they're not. And for me and the way that I plan for the holidays, I do it because I miss obviously my son, and obviously I'm thinking of my mom and everybody in my life that has passed away because they're not here with us. And it gets even longer because right now where I'm living, and we're out here by ourselves. Like, I have no family around me. And if you guys are doing the same thing and you're, missing your family because you can't go see them this holiday season, or you're missing your family because of something, then, maybe planning for the holidays would work for you. And this is kind of how I do it. Like, I know that the holiday season's coming up, and I know that obviously the holiday season puts a lot of stress on people just in general because of the expenses. And I know that the holidays are supposed to be grand. Look at our children. Look at when we were younger. Look at how much we enjoyed the holidays and how great they were, and how we just thought the season was so magical. Just because you're an adult doesn't mean that the season doesn't have to be magical still. You have to make it magical. And obviously, having children and having young children, they bring out that magical part of the season. But basically, we just need to plan. So, how I plan for the season is I start going ahead and thinking about what I'm going to do to honor my son whenever the holiday season comes around. I go ahead and start thinking about missing him, and start thinking about, it's like a roller coaster of emotions coming up. I know that, the anxiety is going to lead up into the holiday just like they do for his birthday, that's on November 26th. And I know that it's coming. So if I know that it's coming, I'm going to go ahead and prepare for it. And that's nothing more than mentally accepting that they're not going to be here, and that eventually one day I will be with them. When God decides to call me home, then I will be with them again. So, and by the way, I hope that's not for a long time, just so you guys know, but I prepare myself knowing that they're not going to be here, but they're with me. I also prepare myself on how to honor my child during the holiday season. That can be done by many things. I made a lantern a long time ago, and I made it for my mom, and it's just like a little remembrance lantern, and it has like a Christmas poem of, what do people do when they're in heaven? They come down and spend Christmas with you, and it's a whole poem about it, and it has like a candle in there, and it has a picture of my son and a little Christmas tree and a little rocking chair, and I have that now that my mom has passed away. And then I also do a remembrance tree. It's a white tree, and it has a bunch of Hallmark ornaments, because they make Hallmark makes like seashell ornaments, and I've bought one every year since my son has passed. So I have a little tree, a memorial tree, and that's what I'm going to do. Because another thing that I always fear, and I never want to reach the point that my daughter thinks she's inferior to my son. So those are my ways to remember my son during the holidays. But you can do something else. If you're not into wanting to do a whole tree or make something or something like that, you can set just that extra place setting out. You can set, a toast, or you could go around the room and talk about that person, whoever that person is for you. You can talk to them. You can just talk to them. Just start talking to them. You can do it in private. You don't have to do it in front of anybody. You don't have to tell anybody you're doing it. But let them know that they're around still, and let them know that you're thinking about them. So that's kind of some ways that I personally deal with missing somebody during the holiday season, missing somebody that's passed. But the way that I look at it is I have to continually make myself and my daughter happy. I have to make sure that life keeps moving. And unfortunately, that's a hard pill to swallow sometimes, but you still have to keep moving. And each year I want to grow, and I want to be a better version of myself than I am this year. But that was kind of a sidetrack. But yeah, that's what I do when I'm missing someone that's grieving. When I'm grieving somebody that I'm missing during the holidays. I just honor them in my own little way. Besides missing people, that I think that is like one of the biggest things that people do, is they miss people during the holidays, and they're sad, and that's kind of what drags people down. But it's also people stress out, and we get so much anxiety. You get nervous about making everybody happy and pleasing everybody. But what I've found is you have to make yourself happy. And I didn't learn that until, recently, since my mother actually passed away, because my mother was very, it's got to be first. It's got to be, you know, why are you going there? Why are you doing this type person? And not saying that my mom was a bad person at all, but that was my mom. And there was so much anxiety that I put on myself, and so much stress that I put on myself that is unneeded. What you need to remember during this holiday season is that you have to do what you want to do for yourself and your family. And if you don't have a family yet, that's fine. But look inside yourself, and what do you really want to do? And do it. And yes, it's going to cause probably some commotion, but guess what? You're an adult. You don't have to deal with that in your life if you don't want to. So it's going to be up to you, and you do what's going to make you happy. And then the rest, you just worry about at a later time. They'll get over it because they still want to see you. It's just everybody wants to see you at one time, and that's what makes it so hard. As for the financial aspect of it, obviously, yes, we're spending more money and things are getting kind of crazy, and you're worried about, oh my gosh, am I going to have enough money? And then, am I going to have enough to get in the car and go somewhere and go all these places that we want to go? Stop worrying. Because if you look back at your life and every holiday or every special event that happens, you always find the time. You always find the money. You always find a way to make it work. So stop stressing about it, because but what we do is we build up all this anxiety inside of us, and we're just, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, I'm not going to have any money. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. But in the end, it always works out. And then after the holiday, after we stressed about it all the way up until Christmas Eve and Christmas, then Christmas night, we're sitting back going, oh, it all worked out. So why don't we stop worrying about that aspect of it and go ahead and just go, you know what? It's going to work out. And have faith that it's going to work out. That's part of the holiday, having faith. Having faith, having hope for the future, that's part of the holiday. So have faith that it's going to work out. And relax. Enjoy the time of season, the time of this season, because it is special. Even when we're in our 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, it's still special. But we seem to forget about it because of the fact that we think of all these adult things, and we don't go, you know what, hey, I'm going to be a kid. I'm going to be a kid for the holidays. I'm going to stop stressing out until after the holidays and enjoy it. Go back to that 5, 6, 7-year-old kid that enjoyed the holidays, that enjoyed that special time, that magic that we forget about when we're older. And I know some of you guys are going like, yeah, right. Like, I can forget about, all the stress coming into it. Just try it. When you feel yourself starting to stress out, say an affirmation. It always works out. I'm going to be okay. It always works out. I'm going to be okay. And go from there. So that's basically all I have, you guys. And I know it's a short episode and I've kind of been all over the place and, just being me. So I just wanted to tell you guys, start planning for the holidays. And I'm not talking about financially. I'm talking about mindset. I'm talking about your mental health. I'm talking about stopping all the anxiety and stress into the holidays, and remember to bring it back to what it was like when you were a child. Go back to the way it was when you were younger, and remember that it's always going to work out. But with that being said, I know this is a shorter episode, but Thanksgiving's coming up this week, so I hope you guys have a good Thanksgiving, and I hope you guys have a good rest of the week. You guys be safe and be brave, my warriors.